Alright guys, what's going on?
Hey Mom, look, the boys are back in town.
It's been a while since we've probably posted, and it's been a while since you've probably seen me on the channel. I'm still here, I'm still hanging around. So this is kind of going to be the start of a new series. Y'all haven't seen much of my Tundra on the channel, my white truck. It's mostly been the Tacoma, you know, from the Yahari trip, the ball joints, all the crap we've been working on it. And as you all know, if you've seen, we don't have a shop no more, so we're going to be working kind of where we can in the driveways, you know, and Alec just got him a new house, thankfully, so it's great for him. So we're going to be working in his garage until we can get Shag Shop 2.0 up and going. But basically what I'm going to be doing to the Tundra is I'm going to be completely redoing the wiring system as far as auxiliary stuff. The wiring for the actual truck is good. All the old high school wiring and stuff, you know, the stuff you do as a kid that you don't really think about is, oh, this is good. I know what I'm doing. I'm 16 years old and I've never worked on a vehicle in my life kind of stuff. So we got some packages, and y'all know me, I love Amazon, and that's where I buy everything from. So let's see what's behind door number 1. All right. And y'all know me, I love nightlight. It's usually who I go with on everything, except for some higher cost LED stuff. So yeah, that's what we got. Number 1, new switch panel. I've always liked the looks of these and the way they work, so I broke down and bought one. This one was relatively cost effective. It wasn't too expensive, it wasn't very cheap. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Just a small little 6-gang, you know, wiring harness. We're gonna be mounting that in the truck. It's gonna clean everything up a little bit on the engine bay, and yeah, comes with a secondary fuse box, you know, with all relays. Well, it might not have relays in it, I can't quite tell. But we'll get that situated. That way everything will be ran and wired, you know, properly and how it should be. All right, and then in box number 2, this should probably be the new lights for the front of it. Slide this open real quick. Good sharp knife is what every good man needs.
That's a knife.
Yes. So wire loom, make everything look neat. Bubble wrap and lights. Oh, cool. They're called the Laser Gun 40s. So when I was looking at lights, you know, I didn't want to go cheap. I didn't want to go break the bank as far as like Baja Designs or something like that, or KCs, or even like Rigid. So I kind of went middle of the road. These weren't too terribly expensive. They were only, I think, right around $130 for both sets. But from what I saw on them and the reviews and everything, they're pretty good from what I can tell. So we'll see. But they're basically just a knockoff Baja Designs, 3-inch cube, flood and spot beam. And I got 4 of them, so they're going to be set up right in the very front. I think it's going to be quite a good look for the old girl. It's all quick plug and play wiring, which is great because I'm trying to go simple and clean. But yeah, so that's going to be phase 1, is getting the wiring ripped out and new wiring in. Phase 2 is going to be buying a bed rack for it and getting, you know, bike holder, kayak holder, fishing rod holder, so I can start taking this truck to do what I built it for, which is mainly overlanding stuff, going camping, you know, not necessarily beating it off rocks and hard trails like we did in Yahari with the Tacoma. There you go. And yeah, it's gonna be good. I haven't really put no money or effort into the Tundra in a very long time, and I'm hating myself for it. I kind of wish I would have done this a little bit sooner. I wish I would have done this before I started the Tacoma build, but we're here now. There's things you can't change in life, and that's one of them. So we're gonna go out here and I'm gonna get started on ripping the old wiring out and show you what I mean when I say it was very, very bad. So let's get started. All right, so from the interior standpoint, you got your, you know, your cockpit seat where you're sitting and everything, and over here you got I got 2 rockers because I used to just only have a little bit of lighting in here. I don't have lockers in this truck or anything. And then down here, I had a little tiny switch right there that I used when I had the rectangular LED pods on the front. So yeah, they're going away. All this is going away because I mean, it's not even in there. It's just kind of dangling. They fit perfect, but I'm ready to get rid of them. And I'll repurpose these eventually for something. I'm not sure what. Yeah, all that's coming out of there. And then if we move around to the front, see, you know, I got the secondary fuse box as always. That's staying. But as far as everything else, like all this, like, it's bad. It's not pretty. I mean, you got splices on splices when you really look down in there. I mean, there's one right there. There's another one right there. And up here, if you keep following it around, come down, you got this whole conglomeration of just junk. This would be the only wire that stays because it's a dedicated ground. I will redo it though because it's old and decrepit, and as you can see, not heat shrinked. Nothing was ever heat shrinked on this truck. So yeah, let's get it started. So as y'all can see, just the engine side of things, I mean, it's just a nightmare. I don't even want to talk about this. So now, should be able to just come in here. Like, take this little switch right here. Oh, it's kind of actually tucked it back up in there. There's one. Now, these ones are going to be a little bit more tricky because I was smart about one thing and I ran them all under the carpet like a genius, and then they all pop up right in there if you can see. So yeah, these are going to be maybe a little bit harder to get out. Did I actually tuck them, or did I might not even tuck them. Oh yeah, that's what I was hoping for right there. So yeah, and you can see, I mean, spliced under the carpet. What in the world was I thinking? This is an electrician's worst nightmare. So yeah, let's get this rest of this junk out. All right, so we're back up in here. I got the flash on now. See, that had one wire going to it, and it's spliced right there. Like, we'll get into that in just a minute. Let's go ahead and pull this one out. See, this is why we're doing this, because I don't know if y'all can tell, that one is a little bit toasty. And look at all the splices. Like, why did I ever think that this was a good idea? Set y'all down real quick most of the time. And now, like, why is that wasn't even crimped? I'm hating myself even more and more for this now. Whoopsie, hit the horn. Don't scare yourself by hitting the horn, or all of your neighbors. Can I get it back through this way? Hey, there we go. Cutting through the other way. Yeah, so this was all just behind the dash. Like, burnt wires, crispy. Oh, I'm so glad we grew out of this phase. So yeah, there's that. And that's the conglomerations of wiring that I did throughout my high school years. But yeah, now we have a nice clean pallet. I'm thinking I'm going to put that switch panel just right back in there because it's easy to access. And yeah, we're going to be getting into that here in a little bit later on. It's probably going to be a couple days, but we'll catch y'all in just a few minutes. What you doing, Alec?
I'm slowly getting through to my valve cover gaskets, which lead to my bushings for my rack and pinion and then my CV boots. It's going to be a long fucking weekend.
He's doing a lot of the stuff that nobody wants to do. Meanwhile, the Tundra's on the channel for the first time in, I think, ever, right?
No, we did the walkthrough.
Well, besides the walkthrough, I mean, like, working on it.
Yes, actually it is.
Nice.
It's usually the Tacoma that makes the appearance.
That's right. So, as y'all saw at the beginning of this video, we got some new pods for it. And we got a new fuse box and all the fun stuff. So, what I'm doing now is I just got to Alex. And we're going to basically spend the whole weekend, you know, working on stuff. But I'm about to drill the holes for the 2 middle lights. So I'm going to angle these 2 out like they are now, so kind of give me like a wider angle, and then the 2 in the middle, which are going to be like right there and right there, are going to be facing forward, just as like regular, straightforward driving lights. Yeah, and then we'll try to figure out where I'm going to mount the fuse block and everything for the new switch panel. I was planning on going in this little open spot right here, but I don't have enough power cable that was supplied, and I don't really want to go spend a bunch of money on a new one, then have to take the fuse block apart. So I think I'm going to try to get it somewhere down in there, or maybe on the side of the existing fuse box. I'm not sure yet. I gotta do some figuring out on that, but let's drill some holes.
Damn, son.
All right, they're on. The sticker's coming off because I found out after measuring the sticker is not in the middle. That is very aggravating. I mean, you can see the center line there and where it ends. But yeah, that's the basic setup. I got to kind of knock this one sideways a little bit. It's a little bit crooked from where I bolted it down. These brackets are, so far, the only flaw I found out is the brackets are kind of cheap. I had to bend them all, like they were all way out wide, like this. I had to bend them into about like that to get them to even fit, to get the bolts in. But other than that, they look good. They bolt up good. I got to tighten them down once I get them all set right. And yeah, then we'll start the fun part of wiring and getting them all mounted back on the old Tundra here. Hey, Maisie. All right, so now y'all gonna get to watch me struggle to put this thing back on, because Alex elbow deep in his 4Runner, and I want to get this thing on. Oh. All right, so a little update. So I got the switch panel mounted. I decided not to go right here because I'd have to drill a hole way back in here in the radio housing. I didn't really want to do that. I already had some holes or some screws put in right here from whenever I had my CB right here. So I just went right there because, I mean, when you're up in the truck, I mean, it's easy access, just like boop, 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 right there. Everything's super clean. That's the one wire that runs to the switch. You just connect them in. Thankfully that these lights came with these plugs. So we're just going to heat shrink these together, you know, then we're going to plug them back in. These 2 outer ones are going to be on a switch, and the 2 middle ones are going to be on a switch, so I can turn them on however I need. And then I'm going to ground them out right here where I had that dedicated ground at. And the box itself is going to be mounted right through this hole, so it's going to kind of sit down like that, nice and tucked out of the way, and I'll still be able to just pop the screw out and then get to my actual connections here, because you got to pop these Phillips out and then you put your wires in this side. So it'll all be nice and clean, nice and tucked away. I got plenty of room to get to my battery. I can pop it in, ground it, everything will be good. But yeah, we're getting along pretty good. I got to put some wire, I got to heat shrink these down, get some wire loom on them, plug them all back in, and then we can move on to actually wiring up the fuse box, mounting it into the truck, and then hopefully, Alec, we can get some power to these things. We tested one just to make sure it worked, and it literally blinded Alec. So
What did you say?
he's as blind as my dog. So essentially,
Let's put this thing on.
yeah, so we're going to get this thing wrapped up real quick. I wasn't expecting it to go this quick, but I mean, when you have the good tools and the good equipment, and it all just kind of goes together good. Then I got to get that dreaded sticker off. yeah, here we go.
I'm struggling.
He is struggling. All right, update. Alec is still slaving away on his Forerunner. I got the lights on. I got everything wired up, but it started raining extremely bad. So I had to, you can probably hear it. I had to move inside, turn my truck around because obviously our garage is now soaked. All of my tools are soaked. But basically this is what we got. I got to put stickers on. I got to tidy up some stuff. But 1 and 2, these things, when I drove down the driveway, I wasn't thinking because it was raining so bad. But yeah, they are insanely bright. I mean, hi guys. I could probably, you get, with the rain outside right now, I'm getting, I would say probably close to 400 feet of actual light output where I could actually see. But yeah, we're going to tidy up some wires and then that'll sit there.
Well, would you look at that? Those are some yellow pods, my guy.
They sure are.
Do a little. This is the night after. Obviously, he's got everything set up. He's got the 2 in the middle right there, and then
I think I'm going to angle the 2 on the sides in just a little bit, or angle the ones in the middle now, because the ones in the middle are pointed straight ahead.
Oh, that poor lady just got
blinded
by the yellow light. So give us just the middle.
Oh, just the middle?
Just the middle.
Oh, there it is.
There you go. Just the outers. Heck yeah. Those look great. You can find them in our Amazon link below. Y'all have a good one.
All right, y'all. So it's the next day, obviously, nice and bright. But yeah, that's our finished product. When I pulled it out in the driveway last night when it was raining and everything, they are super, super bright. I am very, very happy with them. This is where I mounted the fuse block and everything. Just used one little mounting bolt through the radiator support from a hole that was already there. Grounded everything out right there. Everything's all in wire loom, all nice and protected from the elements. This is kind of tucked off to the side so it won't be too exposed to the water when it rains, which is good. And then positive battery cable, accessory battery or accessory power, and then ground for the actual block itself. And I still have my secondary fuse box in here for whatever I need it for. But yeah, so that's gonna be that. Next step, bed rack, getting that sticker off. In the next video, we're gonna probably be putting on the bed rack. I gotta wait on my taxes to get back because we broke. But yeah, next video for this truck will be the bed rack, kayak holders, bike rack, and probably a fishing rod holder. But yeah, I'll also in the next video show you how I mounted the fuse box and everything and where I mounted it to. I basically mounted it right behind the grill, but off to the side so it doesn't get wet that much. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Shag's Shop.
And come back again.
That's right.